Yeah, we're at a little disclosed location. It's basically a church that they're trying to renovate right now. And the construction workers are not here today. I saw the back door look unlocked, so I went inside. As you can see, there's a reason why. You know what I'm saying? I did that shit. You know, because motherfuckers like might come in and it's like, oh shit. That's what they're young, but as you see, it's cold as fuck outside and windy. And it's just like, man, I was sitting in my house drinking some coffee, and the first thing I thought was weed and coffee go well together. CBD probably go. So I was like, man, I want to roll that. I want to get that fucking joint out and smoke that shit. And I was just like, man, that shit pissed me off. I started thinking like, man, I really could, you know what I'm saying, go for that joint right now, but I'm at my mom's house. And then I'm just like on the couch, I'm sitting there drinking. I take the vape out, and the vape was good, but it was like it's not like weed, smoke weed. So I was like, and then like I found I was like, fuck, I gotta leave the house because like my mom was home, and I was like, fuck, that's what I'm saying. And I was walking up here, I was thinking, this is exactly why you need to like get your own fucking place. Like it's not even funny. Like this is literally what I'm talking about. This is the reason why I'm saying you need your own place. It's like you can't be out here. That's why people be saying to me like, "What are you doing?" Or, I'm not really trespassing. I'm not really trying to do nothing. I'm really just trying to just chill here for a second. You know what I'm saying? I was in a roll of joint at this table here, but there's no joint to be held. And it's just like you walking up here. It's like 15, 20 minutes up to get up here. And I'm fat right now, so it probably take me a good minute to get up here, like 25 minutes. And it's like I don't like doing that shit. And it's like if I had a car, I know if I had a car, I could have went to like Highway 6 area, like behind a fucking LA Fitness, you know. And then behind LA Fitness is just like a neighborhood with really big houses and big backyards. So like, you know what I mean? Like it's just like a perfect area. And it's just annoying me because like that's like 3 to 4 minutes away, and it's like I had to walk 25 minutes over here. If I was in a car, I'd be able to go anywhere. It doesn't even matter. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't even matter really. And it was making me also angry because I'm thinking like, man, like not only that, you know what I'm saying? Like just the shelter itself, like the wind and shit. I could put the windows up and be like, let me roll a joint, and be having somewhere to smoke, and just sitting in my car. It doesn't matter where I'm at. I'm telling you, I could have went to the Burger King parking lot. It really don't matter like that, you know. And it's like, fuck, you know what I mean? That should make you angry because you be like at the house and you be thinking like, man, like if I had my own crib, this is why you really want your own crib. It's like, yeah, and it made me realize this is the reason why I left my mom's house in the first place. Like this was like the real motivation. I ain't gonna lie, that was the real motivation. It was like, because this is what I do most of the time. I just go out and go find this, and it becomes a habit. And I realize, like, because I'm not so attached to weed or I'm not a drug addict, basically, that I realize that I'm not really a drug addict, like at all. Don't get me wrong, I never thought it was with weed, but I know I was like being greedy. When it's like, okay, you're just trying to like buy a whole bunch of weed, and like when you indulge. So I have my seasons for indulgement, but like I feel like I don't indulge. I feel like I'm just a stoner. Like when you just get high when you can. You know what I mean? But you're not on some like, oh, let me get high right now. It's like it's just like, okay, I'm not smoking weed right now because I think when you smoke weed and you're a grown adult and you're mature about it, you really just want to be in your own shit, chilling, smoking some weed. You know what I mean? Like this isn't partying to me. This is more like, and it used to be very meditative too. I use it for meditative, like spiritual purposes. I use it for recreational purposes to have fun, to relax. You know what I'm saying? And also like energy, like stimulate the mind and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's why with the herb, to me, it's really like a blessing. You know what I'm saying? Dry Rastafari. But when you look at it, as an adult, like it's like a coffee. It's like coffee break. It's cold right now, so it's like it's not burning that well. That's how you feel like. You feel like it's just a coffee break. You know. Let me make sure I get my shit together just in case somebody does come through. I'm like, I gotta fucking bounce. I don't want them to get to be like, you know what I mean? Come in here. I'm just like, stupid. I don't know. I'm fucking Lucy just hat. You know what I mean? I don't want that shit to be. I'm just chill out. I can go get a free pizza every Monday. I don't want to go get that food because like it's cold and I gotta get on the bus and it's 30 minutes away and it's just like I'm okay. And I've been eating that shit like a motherfucker. I'm really good. I don't want to play eating that shit. I feel like if I was to eat that shit, it'd be weird. But anyways, um, what was I about to say? But yeah, so I was talking about like gayness and shit. And I was talking about like how being like I heard a YouTuber talk about their auntie when he came out as gay, like that, like he doesn't want that lifestyle for him, and it reminded me of like what my dad said. He said the same thing about me randomly. He was like, "Yeah, the gay shit. Nobody in our family is gay. I don't want that lifestyle for you," and that shit kind of like pissed me off because like on so many different levels, like I heard I didn't say I was gay. Second of all, we never had that discussion. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't come out to you, so like there's no reason for you to say that shit. You didn't even like, you know what I mean? It's like you're not even like, oh, I saw you do something gay. Like it's a random. It's like somebody just saying like, yeah, like you're trying to become a doctor, and they're like, yeah, you know. So the reason why you don't want to go to the army and shit, you know, look at them like you just bring this shit up randomly. I don't even know what you're talking about. But anyways, so I've realized like when you said lifestyle, I'm trying to think, and the respect to this guy, but it was like when the motherfucker said that shit, he had makeup on and shit. I mean, he was Butch Queen in sissy mode. He was sissying the fuck up. Like he looked super fucking gay, and I was like, what the fuck? And then I started thinking like when they said lifestyle, I realized what they mean by that. And that shit like it's funny. And it's funny because the first thing I think about that shit is like they don't want you to be. It's hard to describe what I'm saying, but in my mind, but it's like they don't want you to be basically a faggot. That's the best way to explain what they mean by a lifestyle. They don't want you to be a fucking faggot. And it hurts because you don't know where to like go from there. Because like I said before, gotta make sure. Being quiet a bit. Like I said before, it's like you really see, right, that I think it's kids, but like you really see that being a faggot, I feel like is basically seen as being like a sissy or being a cross dresser. You know what I mean? Or a transvestite. Or even a tranny or a trans woman or whatever the fuck, right? Like that's what people don't want to see. They feel like that's what they mean by a gay lifestyle is where you start to think that you could become like a woman or you could be treated like a woman. And it's really complicated because that is so much empowerment for people that are already femme and people that like to express femininity. You know what I mean? And people that want to live in their femininity. Like trans women. And so it's really like weird when you have to like live by those rules, on that aspect. But that's the first part. Then the second part is it makes me realize what that's done to the human race. Not just in the gay community, we're going to say like the LGBT community, we're going to say the human race as a whole. And so that's why you see so much like there's so much down low shit. It's like it's funny, you know what I mean? And then people really try to like everybody has their own homophobic like excuse for shit or justification for shit. So like in their minds, it's like they'll come up with reasons. You know what I mean? Like when they say Abraham Lincoln's gay, they're gonna be like, well, they thought Abraham Lincoln was black and da 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 da. You know what I mean? And so I realized how like stupid that shit is. Like, you know? And so when it comes to, like that, I started seeing like subcategories of such. Like I realized there's a lot of fucking, like for him, he was dressed as a fucking sissy too. And I was like, that's what she means by gay lifestyle. You a fucking faggot. And that's different than being gay. Being gay, you're just a dude. Like me, I'm just a dude and you're gay. It's like, okay, you're just a gay dude. You know what I'm saying? Like people would understand that shit. But like, if you a motherfucking like faggot, right? It's like it's getting warped in their mind. And then you have the fact that it's like you have a lot of butch queens that are effeminate as fuck, and they get butch. And that's like what he did. African hair guy, motherfucker. Like he really like, you know, started like he was even saying that shit. Like before I became butch, I was not getting hollered by no women, and I'm like butch, wow. And that's why I realized it's like this motherfucker right here. It's like he's effeminate, and so he thought that he could be feminine, but he's still a man. So he dresses like a man now, and it's just so weird, because that's what a lot of them are. But what are they really? They're just like femme queens, and so like it's funny when like people make that transition. They don't like that shit. They has gay lifestyle, and I don't know how to explain that shit because it's like, but you feel when somebody tells you that about yourself, right? You realize that like, oh, like, but what is that exactly? Like how far does it go? And so that's why the shit weird, you know, because it's like, and then when somebody tells you that shit, you're thinking like, that's not me, like. I'm not living on what, like you're like the first thing you think is the same thing he thinking like what lifestyle? You start thinking like what lifestyle? Like you're just gay. You know what I'm saying? You're just gay. You know what I mean? These people don't get that shit. That's crazy. Shit could be like, I be thinking like, what the fuck? I be thinking like, what the fuck? Like what lifestyle? That shit real though. He said that shit. And like that's why I'm like, I don't even know. And it's funny because I have to put this in there. Like I realize so much about the black LGBT community or whatever ghetto. I don't know what to call it. Versus like the white LGBT community or AKA like the higher class community and shit. That shit crazy to me because like I be looking at shit like the white community doesn't even understand what down low is. That's not even a thing, bro. You know what I mean? Like it's not even a thing. It's like if you don't want to come out, you're not gonna come out. You know what I mean? Like that's how the gay community is. It's so fucking the white gay community or the higher class community. If you don't want to be out, you don't have to be out. That's how that should be like first. And then like on top of that shit, like they do so much faggoty shit. Like they do the faggoty shit that like the lower class community wants to do, but doesn't like. It's hard to explain, but it's like that's what they like. For example, like to them, it's like if it's just very technical. It's like if you are a man who puts on female clothing, you get what I'm saying? Then you're a cross dresser. It doesn't matter what type of cross dresser you are. But then because majority of them like the full transvestic transformation, you know what I'm saying? That's what's seen as cross dressing. And it's like they have cross dressers who just cross dress. You have people that are like, you know what I mean? And it's a whole different like vibe. It's just so fucking weird. You know what I'm saying? Because like you can't have that in the black community. You can't have that in the lower class community, like where it's like you're just a guy who likes to put on clothes like women's clothing and shit. That shit is so fucking weird, bro, to them motherfuckers. Especially when you do the whole transformation, it's like that's when they really be like, "What the fuck is going on?" You know what I'm saying? And then you have people that like do that shit like for fun and competition and expression. So it's like you have drag queens, but it's like that's what I'm saying. But I started to think about it on a technical level, like, and that's essentially the same thing. That's why when I was doing that shit, cross dressing, these motherfuckers call me drag queens, and I realized like why they do that shit. You know, you know, like you're a drag queen and shit. And it's funny too when you're also even just contemplating. That's the thing too that pisses me off. When you're contemplating, like, do you want to be a transsexual? Do you want to be a trans woman? Do you want to be a woman? Do you like that? It's like these motherfuckers don't even want you to think about that shit. That's why you can't even discuss it with these motherfuckers. Anyways, but I want to put out that it's like it's so weird because like like I said before, like the gay community and shit, like sorry, like gay community, like you have a cross dressers, you even have like sissies, right? And it's like it's weird nowadays because people are like these right archetypes are almost kind of like they came out of shit. Like a cross dressing happened from two spirit people or transgender people, and that's what they really are. That's all like cross dressers are basically a part of the transgender umbrella. They're transgender. Being a transvestite does make you transgender in the aspect of what our culture, you know, people have done. Like people, it's like that's why people don't understand. It's like you look at it very technical, but it's also mixed in with people. As I was saying before, I made a video saying, you could be gay and not be gay. It's like you might be gay, like you're a gay man, you like fucking having sex with other guys, males, trannies, whatever the fucking as long as it's a male, right? Doesn't matter if they're post op, as long as they're a male. But then, like, you know what I'm saying? You right also attracted to women, but you're not as attracted to women, obviously, as you are to fucking men, right? And so, like, you want to have sex with men. That's your fucking prerogative. Like, culturally, like, when you're out in the world, you're like, okay, I want to, like, sleep with, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking at women because, I like those qualities. But if a man was to do that, I'd be very intrigued. I'd be more intrigued to do that and be like, oh shit. And then I want a woman. It's be like, oh shit, that looks nice. Like something to admire, but like when I see it on the guy, it's like that's when I'm like, okay, I want that. You know. Um, so you're inclined to. So in reality, as long as in a good situation with a guy, you want to be with a guy. But it's like it's weird because society takes you as like being straight completely, and so it's like if you don't do certain things, then it's like you're seen as gay. But then it's like getting too deep. I feel like right now, but my point I'm just trying to make about the thing is like so you have like sissies, and so the sissies come from like the subgenre of femdom, where guys want to be effeminated by women, so they want to be turn into drag queens or such and such. But the mindset that they're going for, the caricature is like a bimbo, sissy, like girly. It's not like a dumb bimbo, basically. It's to some degree. You know what I mean? Young, very young, and sexable. You know what I'm saying? And it's like a part of the beta six sec kitten type of you know mindset programming. So it's like really complicated. But yeah, so you have like the sissy dumb that type shit, thing that happens, and so that's what creates like what I'm saying. These sissies and sissies are essentially what I'm talking about before. Like they're fucking faggots. That's what faggots are, you know. And then it's like when you have like the gay man motif, they mix those together, and that's why it's like you have a lot of men that look like men, but they're like complete bitch on the inside. They're like a whole woman, and that's what I was saying before. It's weird where it's like you literally like talking to them, and they want to be treated like women, and you're looking at them like you're a guy. Guys don't do that shit. You know what I'm saying? And not in the this way to demean this person, but to let them know like the reason why women do that shit is because of that shit, and that's why a lot of them don't understand that shit. Like the reason why women, want to look pretty is so they can attract a man to get money, and have babies. You know what I'm saying? That's literally what that shit's about. And men out here are attracted to women, you know, because they want to sleep with them, but it's also to make babies. And so that's the reason why it's like, that's why they have the whole science about it. I feel it's like your attraction to women is what makes you intrigued into cross dressing. So really, you're getting off, you know. But at the same time, like it's almost like creating something. So that's like the birth effect of a child, and that's pretty much what that's about. But anyways, I guess. But yeah, it's like people think on that type of level. But back to the shit, sissies, cross dressers, drag queens. You get what I'm saying? And then there's gay men, and then that's anybody that's like open, out and open, But really, it's just to be like, it'll be like boys that are like effeminate, and then you have tops that are usually masculine, But then if you want to go real gay men, they'll fucking both be like masculine looking and shit, you know. That's how that shit be like. It's weird like that. That shit weird. Like, but the black gay community is not like that. Like, it's weird, And then you have the transgender community and that white community. It's like that shit be like, the motherfuckers are so like, we're fucking. This is what we are. It's like it's so like much more like okay, you know what I mean? Like it's more class, it's more strict. It's just more like it's like you're going somewhere you have to be proper and appropriate. That's how that motherfucker is. Like they really like that shit, and it's like that shit like makes you feel good. Like as a trans person, it makes you feel pride. But then like when you fucking like or the black community, it's so fucking awkward. Or the lower class community, it's so fucking awkward because like these motherfuckers, like, it's totally different. Like, okay, where I start, like, acting like a fucking, like, the gay lifestyle and like a fag is like just not being masculine at all. You know what I mean? And it's just like in a sense of just like where it's like, honestly, it's like the first thing they think about you and shit is like in the black trans community, it's like you were just like a fucking faggot. Like you're just a fucking faggot. You know what I'm saying? And that's all it is. That's all that should be like. And when you're like gay, motherfuckers don't want to like deal with you. I kind of lost my train of thought, honestly. But yeah, just like sissies and shit like that. But on the black community, it's not really like all that shit. It's like either you're a gay dude, like just a regular gay dude, it's called butch queen, or you're a motherfucking like transvestite. It's just old school if you think about it. Transvestite, you know, what they call in the community they say like 24/7 or some shit. Like basically, like I said, I'm saying transvestite, and then they have what you call it, camera. It's like trannies and shit. But it's changing now. Like now it's like trans women. They understand what a trans woman is. But they say it, but they call them transgenders. That shit's weird. That shit's weird as fuck. Like I hate when they do that shit and they call it like us all transgenders or some shit. That should be weird as fuck. I hate when they say that shit because you be like, what the fuck? Yeah. Oh yeah, she was a transgender. I'm like, what the fuck? They don't even want to say like trans woman because they're used to saying transsexual. So they'll say, "Oh, you're this changes to transgender." That it's funny how they do that shit. Like, oh, she was a transsexual. Like, oh, she was a transgender. Like, that's how they fucking say that shit. And it's like they won't never say trans woman. You know, I don't know when you say tranny. To me, tranny is not fucking disrespectful because like, I think tranny, the phrase, yeah, is disrespectful in its context. But I think tranny just like it's short for trans. That's why people say she was trans. That's why it makes sense to me. Say trans and tranny. You know what I mean? But only trans people say they trans. You know what I'm saying? Like these motherfuckers don't say that shit. They say the whole word transgender and shit. You be thinking like, okay, should be weird. They be saying like, oh, she's a transgender and shit. And they really be on some like, it's just weird because like we have like down low men, and that's what I'm about to say. Like, I don't have down low men in the motherfucking like higher class white society, and so like down low men is anybody that's part of the LGBT community, and that's it weird as fuck. And so you realize there's so many different things that the white community or the high class community does that like we don't do that's protecting them. Like for example, like it's just like I said, they have like cross dressing. Like it's so weird because like we don't even like do that shit. We do that shit, but like if you're a cross dresser in the black or gay community in the lower class community, you're automatically a faggot. Like you are a faggot. And what I mean by faggot is like you're gonna fucking like want to transition. You're gonna want to be a fucking like feminine gay boy. You're gonna be a butch queen. Like you know what I mean? Like you really want to be a transvestite out here. You know, even if you're transgender, you still look like a transvestite because you look like a man and shit. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like you would be seen as like that, like you're just a fucking faggot. And that's why it's like that shit weird as fuck. I don't think anybody's coming because it's already like 1 o'clock. So, but it's stupid cold outside, so I don't think anybody's coming. But I had to, bro. I was like, bro, this shit is too fucking cold out here. And when the doors open, I'm taking it. Let me go outside. We gonna smoke this one. I don't want to smoke it outside. I feel like I could smoke it in here because the only place doesn't have a ceiling. But I don't want to risk it. It's a fucking fat ass joint. So, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy, man. Like I was gonna sit and smoke a cup of coffee, a nice fat cup of coffee, with this joint right here. Yep, motherfucking good. Shout out to Devin the Dude. He from the H. But anyways, oh man, it's cold. But yeah, like the black community and shit don't be doing that shit. It's like you're a faggot. So like everything makes you a faggot. But like as soon as you cross into the feminine side, just in your mannerisms and shit like that, you're a fucking faggot. If you fucking try to dress like that, you're a fucking faggot. And it's funny, man, because you know what you are based off of like what you like knew when you were a child. And that's the best way to explain that shit. You know, like people know who they really are, but it's like the funny part is like how do you know? Because like when I was a child, I didn't act fucking effeminate as fuck, like my nephew be acting. This motherfucker is it's just kind of weird, and you don't know where to come from anymore because it's like he acts extremely effeminate and sexual towards me, and it's like I don't like that shit. And then like, but the way he's and motivations of that shit, it's like Nicki Minaj and and Cardi B and all this shit. And I'm just looking at this motherfucker like, why he like doing that shit though? That shit weird, you know. Like it weirds me out because I'm just like, why are you like doing that shit? And like I know because I researched this shit. Like children that have been sexually assaulted, you know what I'm saying, or abused at early ages. It's like they do shit like that. They'll like Go to somebody they feel safe around, comfortable around, like, and that they fucking have some type of like authority over, authority under and shit, and like be on some like taking a BDSM submissive vibe where they like want to seduce them or some shit, or trying to like pull sexual advances on them and shit. You know what I mean? And they don't understand that, you know, what they're doing is inappropriate because they like think like, oh, I'm just doing, you know what I mean? It's like it's hard to explain, but they feel whoever molested them just got close, you know, and so they feel like, and then also sex is sex, even with a child, and they don't want to hear that shit, but it is, and so it's like really awkward, you know what I'm saying? Because their first sexual experience, or say intimate experience, was in that way and everything, so they're always gonna have this like, so when they have certain feelings, they'll like mix those feelings to, you know what I'm saying, with like what's going on some like PTSD type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, like of course, you know, my nephew was molested by a big black man, so you know, or to him it was. So like every time he see me, it's like, you know, he kind of like, and we already have a good relationship. So like when he comes like to like see me, it's like he tries to like have this interaction with me in the way he want to be treated, and it's like it's weird. It's like it's usually queer shit. I'm not saying it's weird on that level. I'm just saying it's like, dude, like, why do you always, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's always gay shit. It's weird. Like, he'll just start meat to meat, start screaming meat to meat, and it's like, bro, that's so fucking gay. Like, why are you doing that shit? And then, like, you know, he'll start rapping like Cardi B and you know, and the Stallion, you know what I'm saying? Things, and just like twerking and shit. And it's like he was doing that shit for a minute, and I was like, stop doing that shit, bro. I was like, because it's like, it's not just the fact that he's twerking. I don't care. I twerk too, you know what I'm saying? I was a teenager and shit, ain't gonna lie. Like, I used to twerk and shit. It was funny and shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, back in high school, we were like twerking shit, pretend to twerk for a song, because it's just like, we would pretend though. We were just playing around. We were not serious, like, whatsoever. And like, it was weird because like, these motherfuckers like do that shit now. You don't know if they're playing or not because they do it so much. It's like you be like, damn kid, like stop twerking, man. Like it's weird. You know what I mean? Like it's just I don't understand. Like it's like stop. You know? It's just like stop. You feel that's how you feel like stop, bro. What the fuck? Like after a while, you know, not like that one session. I'm not like consecutively, like you know, hey, you like nah. You be thinking like what the fuck, but like it's stupid, but like you know, it's like motherfucker take it too far. It's weird, you know. Or like sometimes he'll come in the garage. I'm sitting there and like walking on like his hand on his hip, like his chest all out and shit, booty out and shit. I'm just looking at him like, what are you doing? Like it's the weirdest shit to me. I'm looking like, what the fuck are you doing? Like you know, like it's like he switched, and it's like that shit make me angry, bro. Because I'm like, what are you doing? Like it's just I don't understand. You know what I mean? Like why he be doing that shit? And it's like that shit makes me. It's just like it's just really annoying. I don't know how to explain that shit. It just is. Like I get fucking pissed off with that shit, and not because I'm like homophobic or internalize homophobia. I feel like what it is just like why are you like I don't know, you know? Like it's like why are you doing that shit? That's how you feel like don't be wrong. I never got pissed off the first time. The first time you just look at it and be like, I guess this nigga is like a little bit effeminate and shit. That's cool. But he knows like his parents don't like that shit. The motherfucker's 10. You know what I'm saying? So it's weird. It's like, you know, and then he's not coming from a cross dresser transgender level. It's coming like full on like I want to act like he literally is acting like a fucking whore. That's the best way I can explain it when I say sissy and faggot. It's like he's not acting like a fucking he's acting like a fucking sissy faggot. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's acting like oh shit, I'm writing this shit up in the motherfucking shit. I forgot where I was at. Let's get the fuck out of here. Damn. I'm ready to smoke this shit. I forgot where I was at for a second. Oh, shit. I really did for a second there. I was like, oh, let's get the fuck out of here real quick. I was too ready to smoke this shit. I got that shit back though. shit. No, bro. I really don't want to go there. I really don't want I really wish I could just smoke this fucking J. But first place to smoke that shit too. I looked that shit up. Like, perfect. You saw that shit? Wait, right here. Yeah, my back is more than this shit. Just, feel like I got compressed or some shit. Shit, that hurts so much. Oh my god. Like my upper spine just feels like it's like connected. That's what I'm saying. Release that shit. You know what I'm saying? I really want to go outside because it's pretty windy and cold. I'm like, what? Yeah, we gotta smoke this fucking joint outside. Can you imagine shit? Like, smoke that shit outside. It's like, okay, you go outside, it's just a blizzard and shit. That'd be funny though. This is why I hate smoking outside. That's why I really want to get my own place. That was my motivation. Now my motivation is just like to be by myself and just to be at peace. And just to be like, okay, I'm chilling. Like, yeah. It was open though. It was open anyways. I thought it was like closed or some shit. Oh shit. I want the clothes on. I didn't want to smoke in that bitch, but it's like, nah, bro. I like smoking kids on that bitch, but it's like, I don't think I'm chilling. I just don't know. Like, it's really windy though. Yeah, it's smoking that bitch though. You see how windy it is out here? Like, that shit's insane. We got park right here. So at least yeah, right here. Like, you see how windy this shit is? It's getting windier over here and shit. It's crazy. Dude, now y'all can't see me and shit. Probably can't even hear me. It's like, damn. I heard what we were talking about. But yeah, you know. So people like, you know what I'm saying, the black gay community and shit, like, it's like he be acting like that. It's very sexualized, and it's like, why are you acting like a whore? You know? That's how I be feeling like, why you acting like a whore? It's weird. Like, you know what I'm saying? He be acting like a fucking stripper working at a strip club waiting niggas and shit, you know? Like, it's like, stop doing that shit. Like, I be so annoyed with that shit. Like, he's super fucking zesty, as they say in the community and shit. Like, motherfucker is zesty as fuck for no reason. Nigga adding seasoning to cereals and shit, zesty ass. I'm gonna act all that shit. You know? That shit weird to me. It's like, stop doing that shit. Like, why you doing that shit? You know? He be fucking me up. Like he keeps on doing that shit. At first you're like, okay, cute, you know what I'm saying, whatever. Then you like, and the next time you laugh it off. Then you're like, okay. That's like, all right. Now you're like, damn, and he don't give a fuck now. So now he just goes does that shit like hard as fuck. Like he does shit for like attention, and that shit's like weird. I don't know. I should be like, why are you doing that shit? And I don't care really, but at the same time, it's just like I'm gay. My family fucking knows I'm gay. I don't like them knowing that I'm gay. I don't. I never told them officially that I was gay. They just think I'm fucking gay. You know, like really, like it's never been like, oh, you're gay because I saw you do something with some. It's like, look, are you gay? Because I don't know what's going on. And it's like, you're just like, you're like, I'm bisexual, if anything. You know what I'm saying? And then that's it. And then you think it's really, and that's why they're just like, no. It's weird, bro. It's like a weird conversation. It's like, okay, never mind, bro. It got weird. So that's why I'm like, nah. You know what I mean? Like, so, and so, but you're bisexual in the community too. You're not bisexual. You're gay. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's how that shit is. I'm like, wow. But you're not though. So like in the white community and the high class community, it's just you could be whatever you want to be. It needs to be intertwined. You could be a trans woman who likes to fucking top, and it's like okay, normal, you know. But like in the black community, you have it's like awesome. It's all the same. It's like it's all synonymous. You know, it's like you're only femme because you want to fucking suck dick and take in the ass, and that's basically it. Like that's it. And the reason why a top will fuck it's because he looks like a man. And if he wants to do that type of thing, he's a man. And he's gonna want to like get pussy too. So that's why they think like, oh, bisexual, or like we don't like them. That's the whole notion. That's why it's so awkward. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's so fucking awkward. Even though it's like windy as fuck, hitting the vape is nice, but like honestly, smoking this fucking joint just feels kind of nice too. It's just one of those time periods where you're like, man, let me just go outside, get in this cold ass fucking weather, and smoke a cig, or like, you know what I'm talking about? One of those times when you go outside, you just try to smoke, and it's cold, and you're just like, oh, this feels nice. So, like, even though it's not, like, it's like, I'm feeling myself right now. I'm feeling smoking, you know what I'm saying, outside, in this windiness, in this haze. So, you don't got copyrighted, though. On those songs, so I take this fucking shit down. I be copyrighting that shit. Brand new bathroom pro and I didn't pay for it. So yeah, anyways. Man, it's crazy. I fucking what was I fucking doing? I was fucking somebody the black community. Yeah, but anyways though, it's like the black community and shit. It's like that type of shit. So like he's right now, it's like he acting like a fucking faggot, and it pisses me off because like it's too much. His parents, like he knows basically my parents. You know what I'm saying? Like my mom, my brother are literally gonna like. My mom is literally like she put me in this position where it's like now I'm responsible for like making sure my nephew's not fucking gay. You get what I'm saying? It's weird like that. Like in so many words because it's like this nigga like he's acting more and more fucking gay, and it's like weird as fuck. It's weirding me out because it's like, why are you acting like a fucking fag? And you already know how what I'm saying mom feels about me being fucking gay. Now I'm like in the down. That creates the down low nigga. So now I have to be the down low dude. That's what I am now. But I'm not. You know what I'm saying because of what I am. So it's like, you get what I'm saying? Because I'm transgender. It's like I can't. It's like everybody sees their shit differently. Like I just want. I'm kind of like old school. I just want to fucking like do that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like my nephew has told me that. You know what I'm saying? Like, he already knows what transgender people are. And so it's like weird because you feel like this kid's like got to basically be on some like I could do that shit. And it's like, no, you're gonna be like a fucking sissy. You're gonna, you know what I'm saying? You don't understand the real, like where you are. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's not, you know what I mean? He doesn't put it together. Like you can't just do whatever you want. You have to fucking do what's going on around you because it's only gonna make it out. You know what I'm saying? The situation. It's like you just can't do this shit. You can't do that shit. You live in a conservative ass town. Like you're from fucking Texas. Like you know what I'm saying? Like you can't just do that shit, bro. Your family's not only black, they're fucking African. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you understand the circumstances? I feel like the other guy, come here. Do you understand the circumstances that shit brings? You're a fucking African nigga from fucking Texas. Like, that's like, I don't know what to fucking say. It's like, you can't do that shit. You, you can't, look, listen, come here. You can't do that shit. Like, that's just not gonna happen. You always gotta remember that shit. Like, are you lost your mind? Yeah, you know, I'm like, shit. I really don't give a fuck. But like I said before, like I feel like he just needs to like have a little more discipline in his character. Because I just feel like the way he feel like when I say discipline, like make him act a certain way, bro. Like you have to raise this nigga right. It's not even about just like make him do shit. I said my sister was like on some like, well, we gotta fucking discipline him by fucking, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, you can let this nigga live though. You know what I'm saying? Like you can let the nigga live. I'm gonna keep it real. Like let that nigga live, bro. He's like, it's only 12 midnight. Like, you know what I'm saying? Why is he up here and shit like that? It's like, I'm just letting him fucking slay. It wasn't even 12. It was like almost 11. It's like, oh, he has school tomorrow and shit. I'm like, I mean, if he sleeps at 11 and shit, I feel like he's going to be chill. If he's not, then he going to understand. It's the same. It's like there's consequence. You know what I'm saying? You got to teach this motherfucker there's consequences for his actions and shit. And this is how you want him to act. And it's the best way. And you need to make him do that shit. That's how you make that shit work. Tell him, let's try this shit out. And it's like you're not really talking to him the right way. I don't, you know what I'm saying? You don't just make him do shit. You explain what the fuck it is. It's called, you know what I'm saying? So you teach somebody how to fucking live life. You know what I'm saying? But these motherfuckers just be on some like, dude, it's like motherfucker got his learning is like disabled. You know, he's not giving any fucking direction. You know what I'm saying? That's really the problem. These motherfuckers like doing it for him by like telling him what to do and shit. I was like, don't tell him what to do. Like, let him fucking experience that shit. There's a way you can do that shit. It teaches them how to learn quicker. It teaches them just the reality of life. That way they can ponder on life in a way that builds them up in the right way instead of like giving a fuck about shit that don't fucking matter. It's crazy like that. But anyways, motherfuckers is like on that shit. That's why I just be like, man, like that's why it's so different situation. So like for me, it's like I just want to fucking like cross dress. I can do just cross dressing. Maybe take the right surgeries and if you feel some type of euphoria about my dysphoria, and just be myself. But the more I don't know, I'm getting older now. It's like I don't even know. Now I'm thinking about it like maybe that was just a phase of mine, but I'd rather just honestly just be like a cross dresser. You know what I'm saying? If anything, I can say right now, I don't know. Because, like, some things about AGP is like once you do it more and more, you want to do it. So, that creates a transsexual. And I feel like that's what it is at the end of the day. But at the same time, I'm not trying to get ahead of myself. You know, but what I'm thinking now, it's just like survival. But anyways, that's what I think that I would do. That's why I want to get my own place now. It's like because of those things. Like I want to be gay. I want to motherfucking cross dress. I want to do what I want to do. But at the same time, it's a lot of like shit that doesn't even like matter. And I say cross dress, I really do mean like I like to cross dress, but I don't want people to see me because when you go into society like that, it's like I said before, like you get hollered at. It's so twisted. Like even hollered at to get fucked. A lot of guys are down low. It's like the whole world. You know, has an affinity of being gay. Like they like certain things. Like some people like big old sissified cross dressers fucking them or sucking on their dicks. Like they like that shit. And it's weird, when you're not prepared for like that type of shit. When you expect people to be like, oh man, like it's like my dick or some shit because you're a fan, right? And that's sometimes the euphoric aspect of being on a sissy, like because you're getting fucked by this burly ass man and shit. Like you're just, but but it's really about you getting femmed the fuck out. Like like it makes you look more like, oh my god, like you know, you're so fucking feminine for taking this like big cock. But like when you fucking like get with a guy, they might want to like get it from you. It's so weird. It's like what? Because in his mind, it's like he knows you're male, but he's attracted to you because you're feminine, but you have a dick. So like that turns him on and makes him want to suck your dick because he's having sex with a male. So he's telling he has to, suck it, but you're also a woman. So it's like he feels like this submissive. He feels your hardness of a male. He's trying to respect that at the same time. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to explain, but like he likes an effeminate male. You know? But it makes him feel a level of adoration. Adoration. That's what I'm thinking when it comes to women attraction. Being attracted to women or femininity is an adoration. Where like being attracted to a man is more like fucking like a joystick. It's more like okay, like I want this. I want to go here. I want to go there. With the power, with the energy to switch easily. So you know what I'm saying? Like, oh shit, it's more transverse and shit. Like all you can do is adore that shit, and so that's what women's sexuality kind of comes down to. So you're adoring it, but you're adoring a man. So like, I'm saying, like, it makes you feel like, oh wow, like I am adoring a man. It's like, what I'm saying? It's like, oh, actually, like suck your dick though. Like that'd be really high. Because it's a female with a dick. That's what they really be thinking this shit. Like, we're trans on this shit. Like, it's a female with a dick. Like, if they had to suck off like a regular dude, they wouldn't even do that shit. They would be like, nah, like it's weird. Like, we see a dude, big dick and balls, you're like, oh shit, it's masculine. But then when you see a female, like a transgender woman's dick and balls, it's weird because it's not. When you're truly attracted to them, you realize like it's not. It's like a female dick. It even like looks softer and all that shit. Like, you know what I mean? So like when you like deal with them, it's not like the same. I've had sex with a trans woman and a guy, and I don't talk to them. That's what I'm saying. It's like it's not the same. Like they're like women with dicks, while like dudes are dudes with dicks. And so it's weird, you know. That's how it really be like. So when I'm watching, this shit is it's actually really hitting. I didn't realize how much it hit. Like in the second half, really. It's that sour shit, sour brulee. I wish I could go inside right now. Smoke shit. probably go back inside and do the rest of this video. The vape thing. Check the vape. For sure. So it's just crazy. The way everything is, man. And so, like, that's like something I have in my mind, but I'm okay with just being a gay dude, you know? Or even, like, just being a trans woman and being, like, that man for a trans woman, you know what I'm saying? Like, I could do that shit too. I think that's what a lot of admirers are, but not to, like, to the extent. Maybe not that, like, they're a trans woman that she's one, you know, but they're, like, part of the LGBT community. They're just trying to attract them in. Like, they're just, like, trannies. Like, there's something about trannies that they just, you know? Now, some people post up, some people pre-op, you know? But essentially, you know? But then there's femboys. That shit's weird. You know what I'm saying? Femboys is not really weird, but it's like you have a lot of people that want to be femboys. It's crazy. Anyway, shit. Crazy though. I don't know. I weird like that. I remember seeing this tall ass tranny, not tranny, at Walmart one late night shopping. She had a tank top on and some like shorts above the thigh shorts. I was like, shit. She was pretty though. She had like makeup on and lashes and shit, but like she was tranny. Like she was straight transsexual with it, or transvestite with it. Like her face looked really beat to the guys. Like, she looked pretty, but like I was like, what the fuck? This bitch is really just like a dude, a tall ass light skinned dude, like taller than me. I'm 6'2", so I was like, you gotta be like 6'4" or 6'5". I'm like, wow. And it's kind of sad because so you start thinking that thing like sissy, and it's like people making excuses, so it makes you feel that way. Like, oh, maybe he just feels uncomfortable because he a big black dude, so he feel like the world hate him and shit. And he feel like maybe if he was like at least female, then like he wouldn't be treated like shit. And so they get into this fantasy about being a woman, and like that's what fantasy turns them on because they're attracted to women. You know what I'm saying? So that's their attraction. And so now like he's just a transsexual because now you know what I mean. I see, you know what I'm saying, or a transvestite, a sissy, a faggot, and it's like damn, you know, like a faggot is somebody who becomes femme so they can get dick, and then there's like sissies who become femme because they really do feel like they're femme inside. They want to be feminine. So it's fucked up, you know. In the trenches, though. Make my way though. Well, yeah, it's so weird. Yeah, on that level. But that's how I see shit. It's like it's crazy. Like motherfuckers is like so right now. It's like I'm basically like you know like a down low nigga. You know what I'm saying? It's weird. And I don't know, but I don't know about actually even being with women. I don't know about being with women at all because I don't feel that confidence that I need to feel to even be with women. To be honest with you, I remember like in the morning, man, this nigga like. this nigga like had his friend or her friends and shit in the room. He was telling me how much he loves her and shit, and so she don't want to be with him and shit. And I was like, yeah, bro. I mean, it's what it is. You know, you can't be with her. She don't want to be with you. And then he settled for me and shit. That's why, you know what I'm saying. And he also went back to a woman and shit. She's a woman, right? She's bad. She's higher, you know, hotter than you. That's like the status or quality. So this motherfucker did that shit and realized like he don't like being with. He'll like having sex with you, but he don't want to be with you. And then it was like he also realized like he actually likes being with a dude more than he likes being with a woman. But he still holds that as a high, you know, status thing. So you see, basically, like he knew he was down low because he's one of those guys that will still just be with a woman, try to be with a woman all the time. He got his wife, you know, or whatever the fuck, right? Have kids and shit, and like being on person and shit. He'll still try to do that shit, but like, you know what I mean? Like, in the meantime, he's asking for guys, but like, he ain't really like seeking that shit no more. So he just rather just be like, oh no, man, I haven't had sex yet and shit, and like, basically, he just doesn't want nobody to know he's gay. But like, you know, he told me he told his coworkers he was gay, and they were like, "Nah, but he's having fun with the right girl yet." I'm like, bullshit. He didn't tell his coworkers that shit. Sometimes it's like people be lying, but you know, that's cool. Cause I know he probably heard that shit somewhere, right? It is cool as fuck. My fingers ain't kind of numb. I was like, bum ass nigga. I was angry, bro, because I was just like, damn, bro, hard day at work. I'm gonna come here to school, chill, make this video. He took my good spot. It's crazy though. I don't know. I just feel like I don't even know. The aspect of my life doesn't even matter to me anymore. You know? I love the gay community. I love the queer community. That's what I'm attracted to the most. Like, I honestly, as a pansexual, I really love the queer community. Like, being around them, like, if you just really just, like, stop for a second and stop trying to justify shit and be like, yes, queer. Like, you know, and just be around them motherfuckers, like, without, like, warning, without, you know, without preconceived notions, it's like, they're fucking amazing motherfucking people, man. Like, not, you know, like, you know, on certain levels. Not on, like, okay, what they're supposed to be, just presently, like in their life, being the presence of a queer person is like sometimes like wow, you know what I mean? The power is so great. They have to like the energy levels are so powerful that like they you know creativity of like living their one's life to really live one's life to the fullest and really take life. No pun intended by the balls. You know what I'm saying? Like they literally they do that shit. By the bulls. The bulls. You're like, where you from and shit? Like, I'm like, nah, I'm from Houston, bro. I'm talking about, I ain't from Houston. I'm from fucking A-Leaf, bro. I'm from the suburb of A-Leaf. I know y'all fucking hate that shit. Yes, sir. I'm saying, like, oh shit. Shit. You ain't real. You ain't nothing. You ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know. I'm just making this video. I just feel like, mm, well, I've changed my attractions now. Like, I like queer people, man. They just are like very uniquely attractive. You know, like they're to me, queer people are like what you get when you can your sexuality. Feel like you feel comfortable to be in your sexuality with queer people, not in like a very awkward way, but just like on that level where it's like you feel that way, you know. But fucking, what do I say? Like, I don't look that. Surely I don't look that young, you know. To be like, are you over 18? Like, what the fuck, bruh? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're 20. It's like, bro, I'm over 18. Like, what? Like, they've never seen an African before. That's the reason why. I think, like, because my fucking, pungy nose and shit, and, like, my high cheekbones, that, like, they think I'm a regular black dude. So, like, as a regular black dude, I look somewhat attractive. But, like, I really have an African face, bro. Like, I'm gonna go back in there real quick, though.